You've probably heard that quote before, what you're not changing, you're choosing. But the first time I really sat with that, it was like a damn freight train because it's not just about the big things, it's everything. If I'm not changing how I show up in my relationships, I'm choosing the same pain. If I'm not changing how I work, I'm still choosing burnout. And if I'm not changing the thoughts that keep me small, I'm choosing that cage. And the thing is, most of us don't even realize we're doing it. We just keep running on autopilot, exhausted and resentful, wondering how life still feels like it's completely pressing down on our chest. So today we're going to unpack that. How I learned how to stop choosing chaos that wasn't mine, and what that actually looks like to create real change and not just talk about it. Hi, I'm Andi, and this is Uncaged Chaos. This podcast is for the wild hearts and the deep feelers, the ones who are tired of pretending healing is tidy, pretty, and linear. Here, we talk about the beautiful mess of being human, the parts we usually hide, and how we find ourselves again through them. Today's episode is the most important relationship that you will ever have, the one with yourself. So let's start with my ADHD because she is a whole personality. For years, I thought I was just lazy. Like the world said, try harder. So I did, and I still felt behind. I can't tell you how many planners I have still sitting in my closet that I've used maybe twice and before forgetting they even existed. I used to think success looked like working harder, sitting longer, grinding more, until I realized my brain wasn't built for that shit. And one day I came across a quote that changed the way I saw myself. If a flower isn't growing, you don't change the flower, you change the environment. And damn, did that hit me like a truck. The system itself was broken, not me. Growing up, school was hell. I'd zone out halfway through class and then feel like a failure because everyone else got it. Homework felt pointless. But one thing I knew, relationships and connection came naturally to me. So I made friends with my teachers. And I'm pretty sure, honestly, that's the only way I graduated. It took me well into adulthood to finally understand I wasn't stupid or incapable. I was just in the wrong soil. My brain operated differently, faster, louder, constantly moving. So I started to experiment and find out that I needed to work with it and not against it. So I built systems around what actually worked for me. And here's what those look like in real life. I pace myself at work. I set reminders to move, eat, drink water, like a toddler with a to-do list. I use visual timers for focus bursts. And I let good enough actually be good enough. Because my 50 to 60% on a burnout day, that's still more than most people's 150%. And I don't need to earn rest. I just learn to integrate it more. I grew up in a family where everyone was in everyone's business. I mean, like, you couldn't have a single thought without somebody knowing about it. So when I married my introvert of a husband, suddenly there was quiet. And wow, for the first time, I spent actual undistracted time alone. I was so fucking uncomfortable. My thoughts were loud. My guilt was even louder. And I felt like I needed to be doing something, either be useful, being productive. But the more I sat with myself, the more I realized my body wasn't restless. It was talking. And it was saying that I need love. I need acceptance. I need you. All the things I'd been chasing from other people were the things that I've been starving myself of. So I started small. I started learning what it meant to be with just me. And I'll never forget the first time I took myself out on a date. Whew, I was petrified, like full blown panic. What do I do with my hands? What if people thought I got stood up? But then that mantra echoed again. What you're not changing, you're choosing. And I didn't want to keep choosing a version of myself that couldn't be alone. So I went. I sat at the bar. I put my phone away. I ordered dinner. And I talked with the bartender and ended up having this beautiful night. And that night, something clicked. I realized I could create joy and meaning without outsourcing it. I could be my own company and actually enjoy it. Now, I treat commitments to myself the same way that I treat commitments to anyone I love. And for me, this is what that looks like. Morning check ins before touching my phone. I ask, what do I need from me today? Protected recharge time. I block off nights just for me. No guilt, no explanation. And I also have gentle accountability. So when I slip, I don't shame myself. I just come back. Because you can't hate yourself into healing. You have to love yourself enough to stay. So that quote, what you're not changing, you're choosing, it's not a threat. It's an invitation to stop choosing cycles that drain you, to stop choosing chaos that isn't yours, and to stop choosing to live in soil that won't let you grow. You're not a problem to fix. You're a person learning to bloom differently. So if your friendships, routines, workspace are all suffocating your energy, you're not failing for wilting. You're just trying to grow in the wrong soil. And changing that soil, your environment, your boundaries, your choices, that's self-respect in action. Because when you know better and you still choose the same thing, you're no longer a victim of your circumstance. You're a participant in your own burnout. So maybe this week, just ask yourself, what am I choosing? Through my silence? Through my habits? Through my inaction? And what could I change even just a little to get closer to choosing myself instead? So if you've ever felt too much, too loud, or too damn tired of pretending, this space is for you. This is Uncaged Chaos, where healing gets messy and being human is the fucking point.